sometime I desire, at least once in a lifetime, you have to be in Jagannath Puri during the actual Rath Yatra. They say there are like million people on that one road, the Grand Road. It's very special. So anyway, so coming back to our story. So there are three stories Chaitanya Charitamrita goes in parallel, right? So one is the king of Puri. His name is Maharaj Prataprudra, right? Maharaj Prataprudra, the king was a great devotee of Jagannath, great devotee of Krishna. So while we are going through this story, we are going to see how this king, Maharaj Prataprudra, is so eager to get the blessings of Krishna, get the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And through this entire journey, we'll see how his eagerness to get the blessings, and then at the end, how he finally gets the blessings. Right? And this is always nice. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, we see so many success stories. Right? And we are on the path. When we read success stories, it gives us a lot of hope. And also we learn so much from these success stories. What was their nature? What was their sadhana that they achieved success? Right? So one is Maharaj Prataprudra, his story. Second is the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is in Jagannath Puri. How during Rath Yatra, what did they do while the Rath Yatra was going on? That entire. And third is the story of Lord Jagannath. What happens during Jagannath Rath Yatra? Okay? So everyone got three stories in parallel. So we are going to start off with the story of Maharaj Prataprudra. So this Maharaj Prataprudra, as I mentioned, he was a great devotee of Jagannath, great devotee of Krishna, and he had, what do you say, the king has this priest, or the king has their own priest circle. So one priest who was very close to the king, and his name was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. What's his name?
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was very learned in the Shastras. Actually, he was known as the Vedantist. Means he knew all the Vedas, very expert. And it is the story which comes before this whole thing, how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi, young sannyasi. And he actually spoke Vedanta philosophy to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced him that the essence of Vedanta is bhakti. So that conversation, 7 days, is there. We won't go, that's some other class. Right? So now he is a devotee. Even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, learned in all the Shastras, is a devotee of Krishna, devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is the personal priest of Maharaj Prataprudra. Right? So now, Maharaj Prataprudra, being the king, hears that this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, how he had his transformation, how he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how they had the conversation, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed mercy to Maharaj Prataprudra, or to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So once the king comes to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said I know there is this very special personality who is right here residing, and I have heard how much mercy he's shown to you. I want to meet this special person. Imagine you are here, we are at Holy Spring, right? And then you heard someone here, in Holy Spring, Krishna has appeared. Imagine what you just said, what? Krishna has appeared? Let me go and see. Who is this personality? What is our Krishna? Even a great saint appears. Oh, great saint from Vrindavan has come in Holy Spring. Let me go and see. So Maharaj Prataprudra became very eager. I want to see this. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya actually says that, this personality is none other than Krishna himself. And this is established in all the Shastras. And Maharaj Prataprudra says, because for Maharaj Prataprudra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was like his guru. Because you are claiming, you know all the Vedas, and you are claiming that this personality is Krishna on the basis of your verse, I accept this is Krishna. And now we have established this is Krishna, please let me meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now he tells someone, please arrange a meeting. You meet him every day, please arrange my meeting with him. Right? As I said, king must be so eager. In my kingdom, Krishna is here. I want to meet him. Right? So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, I see you are very eager to meet, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi right now. Right? He is in the renounced order. Right? And being in the renounced order, he will never meet a king. how in traditional Vedic culture, once you take the sannyas ashram, then you don't meet, especially people who are like a businessman or dealing with money, you will never meet such a person. And if someone meets, a sannyasi meets like a businessman or someone, then that is almost like a black mark on the sannyasi. That you are renounced order, why are you meeting worldly men? So, Sarvabhauma says, I don't think this is possible. He is a sannyasi, he will never meet a king. But the king was so eager, he said, please, you do something. Please make a request. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. You make a request, maybe he will agree. So Sarvabhauma, he goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Mahaprabhu, if you allow me, I want to make one request. And he says, the king, he wants to meet you once. And then as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, then he quotes a verse. He says, Nishkinchanana. Let me just pull up my text. Yes. So he actually quotes this verse, the famous verse. He says, Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajan mukhasya param param jigi misor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam yashi vishayitam atha yoshitam cha ha hanta hanta visha bhakshana api asad. That basically Mahaprabhu is saying that for a person who is serious about the spiritual life, you want to progress in spiritual life, associating with those people who are only money minded or who are, just interested in enjoying the opposite sex. Those people is like worse than drinking poison, Mahaprabhu says. So Sarvabhauma is saying, you meet the king, and what is Mahaprabhu saying? For me, meeting the king is worse than drinking poison. And actually this is what Mahaprabhu is saying is a very important point. That in our spiritual life, our key to success in our spiritual life is keeping the right association. Right? Even in the outside world, they say, tell me who your friends are, I will tell you who you are. Isn't it? Like who is your friend circle? If you know who is your friend circle, then you'll say, oh, this person is so. Right? Like, you have some group of friends, they are only into stock market. Whenever they meet, they'll say, oh, the market went up, market came down. Oh, this is happening, market will go up. AI is going public, oh, market will go up, you should buy so and so. Right? They'll keep talking on that. And if you're in that association, what will happen? Very soon you will start investing money in stock and so on. Right? Like Prabhupada actually said, like for a person to become a drunkard, what do they think? Even if he has never drunk in his life, it's a very negative example, but Prabhupada says, even if he's never drunk in life, if he just hangs around with a group who are drunkards, in no time he'll become a drunkard. Isn't it? Right? Actually, in one of the classes I was hearing, one person at the end of the class asked this question. He asked the question, how I can progress in a spiritual life, very some specific thing. And the speaker made a very nice point. He said in spiritual life, whenever there's a question starting with how, there's only one answer. Change your association. How can I become more serious in a spiritual life? Hang around with people who are more serious. How can I be more determined in spiritual life? Be with people who are more determined. How can I get taste in chanting? Be with those who have a taste in chanting. It is all about association with the right devotees. And Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all the Shastras, almost 2 times the verse is repeated, and plus a 3rd time almost similar verse. When a verse is repeated, that actually says how important is this. Right? There's a verse which says, Tulayama lave napi, na swargam na punarbhavam, Bhagavad Bhakti Sangasya Martanyam Kim Pusasisha. It says actually, you consider all the benefits of the Shastras, whether that's attaining Swarga, attaining all the material profit, put it on Tula. Tula means a weighing scale. One side you put all this, you put even Mukti, liberation. And other side you put moment of association with the devotee. And he says that the Tula will be not balanced. Like just that weight of one moment of association with a devotee cannot compare to anything else in all the Shastras. That is the power of association with devotees. So there is both the positive and the negative. So if you want to progress in spiritual life, associate with saintly people. And the negative thing here is, if you associate with worldly minded people, they pull you in a negative direction. Right? So be very careful of our association. Though we go out, we work, we have 9 to 5 jobs, etc. Like, whatever basic is required, we may interact. But if they are going to parties, we say, no, sorry, I don't go to parties. If they are discussing FIFA World Cup, it says, no, sorry, not my field. So we actually don't, they may discuss so many things, but we screen ourselves. Like we don't want to take that kind of association. Right? So association, keep on. So now when Mahaprabhu says this, but Sarma Bhattacharya says, but this king is a great devotee. Yes, you are saying we shouldn't meet worldly men, but the king is such a great devotee. So please. And then Mahaprabhu said, I am a sannyasi, even though the king may be a devotee, but because I am setting an example of what a sannyasi should be, I cannot meet him. And if you ask me again, I'm going to go away. So Sarma Bhattacharya made this request, but Mahaprabhu totally denied it. Right? So that is one side. Everyone following 3 stories, right? So one is Maharaj Pratap. So we got the initial story. Now, we'll come back to more of Maharaj Pratap. But let's start with Jagannath's story. So on Wednesday was Jagannath Rath Yatra, the actual Tithi. Today there was Rath Yatra at the Hindu temple, then Bengali group, we are just coming from there. They had a separate Rath Yatra, Sonali Mataji was there. And then tomorrow we have Rath Yatra, that is ISKCON. So this is a time of Rath Yatra. So Rath Yatra, the whole Rath Yatra starts with what? Anyone knows? No. What Tithi the whole event starts from? Purnima. There's a Jyeshta Purnima, and that day is known as Snan Yatra. Right? So if you see in our Vaishnava calendar, almost 15 days back, 15 days back, that Purnima was actually the Purnima of the month of Jyeshta, that is Snan Yatra as well. So that's the first event that happens, and I'm going to go through a sequence of events, but that is the first that happens in Jagannath Rath Yatra. So even in Jagannath Puri, so what is the Snan Yatra day? What is the importance? So that's the whole story of how Jagannath Baldev. Who is Jagannath? Krishna himself. But why is he in this form? Why is he with big eyes? Why is his hands inside? Couple of stories, okay. He is Krishna himself, for sure. Right? But he is a very special, Krishna in a very special mood. That is Jagannath. So we'll talk about that. But it is said on this day of Snan Yatra, Krishna accepted this form of Jagannath in the Murti form. So there is a story of a king, Indradumna. I won't go through the story, that the whole thing is one class. But that day when Jagannath manifested in Diti form, that happened on Snan Yatra. And that day the King Indradumna, long time back, he actually did a big Abhishek of Jagannath. He's just appeared, like how on Janmashtami. We do big Abhishek of Lord Shri Krishna. So when Jagannath appeared, there was this big Abhishek, like bathing the Lord nicely. And that happened on Snan Yatra. So every day, every year, on this Purnima, in Jagannath Puri, the deities inside, they will come all the way outside. There is a separate place in Jagannath Puri called Snan Mandap, in the temple. So they established, and it is very specific. The length and the breadth of the Snan Mandap is 76 feet. So they create this whole place where Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are actually bathed with 108 pitchers or 108 pots of water. And also the water is brought from a well, and they draw water from the well only once a year. And that well is called Sona Kua. Kua, everyone understand? In Hindi we say Kua as well, right?
Yeah.
Sona is gold. So it is called golden well, but only once a year water is drawn from that. And they take 108 pots of water from that. And if you go to Jagannath Puri during Snan Yatra, I was talking to one devotee yesterday, and he said, it so happened that he went to Puri during that time. So Jagannath from inside will come outside, and he's on like almost close to the wall of the temple. And anyone from outside, you can actually see Jagannath taking, that Abhishek of Jagannath. So 108 pots of water. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are bathed with so much water. So big ceremony on Snan Yatra. That's how that sequence starts, right? But that is a whole pastime to this. But when, children, they bathe with a lot of cold water, what happens? They get sick. So Jagannath, in the form of a Leela, he falls sick. And then, after this Snan Yatra, for 15 days, the temple is closed. Right? So basically, this Snan Yatra happens, right? They get the water from this and then they mix different ingredients in the water and they give a nice bath to Jagannath Baldeswara. But after Snan Yatra, then the deities are not brought to the main temple. They are taken to an inner sanctum where no one is allowed to take darshan. Except for, like Jagannath is one way sick. So the Raj Vaidya, the doctor for the king, he comes and they has a group of servants. Only they go, they save Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Mahani for 15 days. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, don't go during these days because you will not get darshan of Jagannath. 15 days darshan is not there. Right? And then only in this inner sanctum, and then the devotees, almost like when someone is sick, they just give like fruit juice. So Jagannath, who eats, every day he's eating so many times, right? Every day big offerings, but those 15 days, very simple offering. Just fruits, fruit juice, that is offered to Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So 15 days, there is no darshan, and then he's just given very simple offerings. Right? And actually it is, like you see a deities, when deities are, they are made of Daru Brahma, like wood forms, right? So when they are bathed with so much water, the paint actually kind of shades up. So 15 days they actually again paint the deities. Paint the deities. So 15 days the painting happens and then Jagannath is served very privately. So it starts with Snan Yatra, right? Then 15 days this period is known as Anavasara. Right? What is it? Anavasara. So first is Snan Yatra, 15-day period known as Anavasara.
How many days Snan Yatra?
1 day. 1 day. Snan Yatra 1 day. And after that, so from Purnima, 15 days, Jagannath is not.
Like 1 day you can go and take a darshan from outside.
Oh, so Snan Yatra you can see. Everyone can see. Actually, Snan Yatra is so crowded. Because everyone knows Jagannath has come outside and everyone can see Abhishek. Everyone, so many people. It's just like crowd like Ratha Yatra. May not be so much, but so many people come for Snan Yatra. It's fully packed. But you can see the whole Abhishek. Then, after 15 days, what happens is Lord Jagannath comes outside to give darshan. And does not come outside. Again, he gives darshan after 15 days. And that ceremony is called Netrotsava. Utsava means festival. Netra means eyes. So after 15 days getting darshan of Jagannath is like a festival for the eyes. Therefore this event is called Netrotsava. Right? So that day, it is 1 day before Jagannath Rath Yatra, Netrotsava is celebrated. And on this day, Jagannath gives darshan. So everyone in Jagannath Puri for 15 days, they don't have darshan. So they are hankering, when will we see Jagannath? So hence, after 15 days, when they get darshan, it is like a festival to the eyes. And Jagannath gives darshan and now he's like again newly painted, beautiful form, they take darshan. And then that Raj Bhog offering is actually again a full offering. For 15 days he had only fruit juice. Now again a full offering is made to Lord Jagannath. Okay, so this is 1 day before Rath Yatra. Now So two parallel now Mahaprabhu, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is described that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every day he used to go take darshan of Jagannath. But now after Snan Yatra, actually Mahaprabhu, everyone devotees, they saw the Snan Yatra, they had nice kirtans. But then after that, Mahaprabhu was saying, 15 days I cannot see Jagannath. And he was so much in that mood of like separation and feeling so much separation from Jagannath that he went almost like to a place known as Alarnath. Even now you can go to the place, Alarnath. So Mahaprabhu went there. And just in separation, he was just chanting and crying and feeling separation. I won't be able to see Jagannath. I cannot see Jagannath. Right? So he was there. But then different devotees from West Bengal, they came to attend Ratha Yatra. They were all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though he was in this place Alarnath, he heard that all these devotees had come. Then he came back to Puri to actually meet and welcome all these devotees. Right? And how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu welcomed these devotees. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings consist of three main aspects. First aspect is chanting the holy name. So hence, every time we see, there's always kirtan. They're all coming together, kirtan, chanting the holy name. Second aspect is Vaishnava Seva. Serving the devotees of the Lord. Vaishnava Seva. Third aspect is Jive Doya. Jive Doya means compassion for all living entities. So these three are the main aspects of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Chanting the name of Krishna. Second one is Vaishnava Seva. They say we cannot approach the Lord directly. But when we serve the devotees of the Lord, then the Lord is very pleased with us. So through the service of Vaishnavas, we receive the mercy of the Lord. And Vaishnava Seva is extremely important. And the third one, Jivedaya, giving Krishna to others. When we receive a special gift, let's say there's like COVID was there, or some big disease is spreading, and now also there's something going around, right? And let's say you get the medicine for it. Now, if you don't share the medicine with others, then what is your situation? You have the medicine, people are sick around you. If you don't share, then what are you called? Selfish? Okay. What is this? Envious? Envious? You have the medicine, you don't want to give to others. So similarly, this gift of Krishna consciousness, this gift of the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, one who receives it, immediately distribute. You understand from Bhagavad Gita, okay, we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. You have some realization, go out, share it with others. Give Bhagavad Gita to others. Distribute this knowledge. This is the real compassion for all living entities, because we have the faith that Bhagavad Gita is the real solution to all the problems of life. The real solution to all problems. Birth, death, old age, diseases, go on. But the real solution, Bhagavad Gita. As soon as they get the wisdom of Gita, their life transforms. Problems which were big problems before, once you get knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, it's like, don't care. It's okay, things will come, I don't care. And practically we have seen, those who practice Krishna consciousness, you can realize that things before practicing Krishna consciousness, which were very big, now it is like, okay, according to karma, things will happen. It's okay, let me continue my sadhana, let me continue my seva. It will happen. Krishna will take care. We get the answer, Krishna will take care. And immediately that big problem reduces to... Right? In Bhagavatam it says, actually the entire problems of the material world will reduce to what? Yeah, like in rainy season, if you have seen a calf, when it walks on the mud, what does it make? Small impressions. Right? And then when it rains, then that impression gets filled. So the entire problems of the material world which is in front of us reduces to the size of the water contained in a hoof print of a calf. And this is what happens. So the third Jivedaya. When we get this knowledge, share it with others. This is an important aspect of our Krishna consciousness. That's why wherever we go, like today there was Ratha Hindu temple. We went there, we set up a book table, we were distributing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Then other Bengali, again we set up a book table, distributing all these books, distributing this knowledge. Our life is meant for this. Receive the mercy, distribute the mercy. Receive the mercy, distribute the mercy. Right? So we all should become instruments. How much ever possible, share this wisdom with others. This is our life. That's what Prabhupada again and again encouraged. Go out, do Harinam Kirtan. Let everyone hear the holy name. And then give them Bhagavad Gita, give them Bhagavatam. Right? So 3 points of Mahaprabhu's teaching. So Mahaprabhu, through his personal example, everyone with me? Yes? Through his personal example showed how he did Vaishnava Seva. Now all the devotees from Bengal have come. Mahaprabhu, he sends his own servant, his name is Govinda, and Swarup Damodar, associates. He sent them both. He said, everyone who has come should receive a garland. So they both went, they garlanded every devotee who came. And another way of welcoming is garland, and they took chandan on flower and apply on the forehead. In this way, he welcomed every devotee who came to Jagannath Puri. And then after that, Govinda and Swarup Damodar, they sent these devotees to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged Mahaprasadam from the Jagannath temple, and then he personally took the Mahaprasadam, he asked all devotees to sit, and he personally was serving Mahaprasadam to each devotee. Now if you consider, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He himself is going to Vaishnavas and serving them prasadam. This is Vaishnava Seva. We should go, like so many of us, like we do this program. People go, serve prasadam. So nice, this is Vaishnava Seva. In temple you come, serve prasadam, give prasadam. Then Vaishnava Seva. Right? So Vaishnava Seva and Jivela. So these 3 main points. So Mahaprabhu is personally serving these devotees. Right? So this happens 15 days, and also during these 15 days, there is one more special day that happens. Right? So now we are coming to the story of Jagannath. Right? We told 15 days, Jagannath is inside. But one of these days, there is something called Gundicha Marjana. Marjana means cleaning. Gundicha is Gundicha. Actually, if you go to Jagannath Puri, so the main Nilachal, the main temple, and then the Rath Yatra goes from the main temple to another temple which is at the end of the road, which is called Gundicha temple, also known as Sundaraja. Right? So Gundicha Marjana, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows that now Jagannath is leaving the main temple and he's coming to Gundicha. So they go to Gundicha and they clean the whole temple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and he calls all his devotees, even those from Bengal, he calls everyone. He said, on the day of Gundicha Marjana, in the morning, we will go together, we will personally clean the whole temple. So Mahaprabhu asks, he's staying at a place known as Kashi Mishra's house. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, you can go to all these places. You can go to Kashi Mishra, where Mahaprabhu stayed. So Kashi Mishra was, again like, I forget what was it. He was very close to the king. He was directly serving the king. So he asked Kashi Mishra, please arrange 100 brooms and 100 pots to clean Gundicha. And Kashi Mishra said, you are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why you have to clean? You give us instructions, I will engage service, I will clean. Mahaprabhu said, no. This is such an important seva, I will do it myself. So next day on Gundicha Marjana, all the servants came together. And again, if you see Vaishnava Seva, Mahaprabhu goes and again garlands everyone, puts chandan, welcomes each devotee. And after that, every devotee, he gives a brew. He gives everyone, take a brew. Right? And then they go inside Gundicha temple. So if you have been to Jagannath Puri, maybe you have gone to this place, Gundicha, you can go inside, right? Take darshan. And so this is where Jagannath actually stays. When Rath Yatra comes, it comes to this Gundicha temple and Jagannath stays there for 9 days before coming back. Right? So it's Gundicha. So Mahaprabhu comes and then he personally, with full enthusiasm, he actually brooms the temple. He takes the broom and starts cleaning the temple. And he asks everyone, clean properly the temple. There should be not even one dust in the whole temple. And he used to ask everyone, when you collect piles of dust. Like when you sweep, you get dust. Right? So he said, make piles of dust. Why? Because I will come and see how nicely you are sweeping. If your dust pile is big, that means you are doing very nice seva. So Mahaprabhu told everyone, make piles. And if someone piles he sees like very small, he said like, you can show him how to do it nicely. So that way he was encouraging everyone. Nicely clean Gundicha temple. And why is this so important? Actually they do one cleaning, with the broom. Second cleaning, they actually go again and say, okay, now the big dust is gone, now the finer particles of dust, they clean it. And after that cleaning, then Mahaprabhu says, there were a group of devotees who were standing outside with pots of water in their hand. He calls all of them. He says, now sweeping is done, take the pot of water, he throws it on the ceiling. And then from the ceiling to the wall to the floor, everything, first class cleaning. It said so much water was there in the temple for cleaning that outside the temple it was almost like rivers were flowing outside the temple. So much water was coming. But everything just for cleaning the temple. And then it is described that while they were cleaning the temple, just because everyone was engaged in seva, and while they were cleaning, no one was saying anything other than Krishna. If someone needed more water, he'll just turn and say Krishna, and immediately the other person will understand, oh, he needs more water, and let's give water. So just chanting the name of Krishna, everyone is doing seva together. And this is so important. One, because, when you clean, like you come to our new Goloka temple, when you clean the temple, it is like cleaning our heart. It is described in that chapter that as soon as everyone cleaned the temple, all of them felt their hearts were as clean as the temple. So coming to a temple, offering menial seva, we serve prasad. So you clean after that, offer some menial, you sweep. This is very, very nice because you are cleaning your own heart. When you offer humble seva, it cleanses our own heart. So, what does this represent, this cleaning? Actually, it is said, see, Jagannath, pulling Lord Jagannath is one way we are inviting Lord Jagannath into our heart. But before that, what we have to do? We have to clean our own heart. If our heart is so dirty, will the Lord come there? If we have lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, if we have all these things sitting in our heart, will the Lord come there? So we have to cleanse our heart. So Gundicha Marjana represents cleansing of our heart. And for us, what does it mean? Everyday chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? What is the first thing? Cheto Darpana Marjana. Same word, Marjana, Gundicha Marjana, Cheto Darpana. Chetaha is our consciousness. So by chanting, we are cleansing our consciousness. And we have to do it every day. Clean our consciousness, clean our consciousness. And when our consciousness is clean, then we can invite Radha Krishna to reside in the core of our heart. Right? So Mahaprabhu, with his personal example, is showing how he cleaned Gundicha Marjanam and telling how we have to clean our own heart. And there are certain things in that section our acharyas explain that what are the dirty things we have to take out? Yes, I mentioned lust, anger, greed, envy. But he also mentions particularly desires. We have so many desires in our heart. So many desires which are not favorable to bhakti. And what is the definition of bhakti? Anya bhilasita sunya. Anya abhilash. Right? So Anya abhilash means desire. Anya means anything which is not favorable to Krishna's seva. Anya abhilashita shunya. Shunya means? Bhakti means to take away any desire which is not favorable to Krishna consciousness. And then jnana, karmadi, anamrita. To get free from karma, that desire to I'll work so hard, I will earn so much money. All those desires, get it out. Our only desire is, how can I serve Krishna? And in that, we'll do all our responsibilities. We'll take care of our kids in that mood of service to Krishna. We'll work in the mood to please Krishna. Everything we'll do, but our focus is Krishna. Right? So, Gundicha merging, right? Very important. So our Acharya explained, we want to clean all these desires now. So many desires are there in the heart. Right? So we have to get rid of all these desires. And then also he says, while we are practicing bhakti, we have to be careful of some other desires that may come. And what is that? He talks about while we are practicing bhakti, we may get the desire for recognition. Recognition. We are doing some seva, and all of a sudden from the seva we are like, okay, now everyone will know how great devotee I am. Right? That is desire for recognition. We are doing the seva, but we get a desire to be recognized from that seva. Get some recognition, get some worship. People will come and say, oh, he did this seva, such a great devotee. We cultivate those desires. So we have to be careful of those desires while we are engaging in devotional service. Right? So he talks of 6 different points there. Like one is being duplicitous. Duplicity. That means what? When we come in front of devotees, we are like, oh, everything's so perfect, nice behavior, everything perfect. And when we go back, then we are someone else. That's being duplicitous. Just to show that how nice we are, we act in a certain way. But when we go back, all the other desires come out. So that is duplicity. We should be just like a mirror, transparent. This is who I am, Prabhu. I have all these desires, material desires, and please have mercy upon me. Just being transparent. Right? So that's being duplicitous. Not being duplicitous, then he also talks of jiva himsa. Jiva himsa means envy. While we are practicing bhakti, then we become, oh, I am 10 years in Krishna consciousness. This person, 1 year, karmi. So that is another problem. Right? We shouldn't become proud ever of our sadhana. Everyone who comes, our mood should be, is practicing 1 year. 1 year in this lifetime, but maybe previous lifetimes he already did 20 years. And I am only 10 years. So he is superior to me. Everyone who comes in bhakti, we always consider, I am a servant of that person. He is superior to me. How can I serve him? How can I serve him? That should always be our mood. Our mood in devotional service is servant of the servant of the servant. That mood of humility. When we are doing seva together, sometimes there is like, oh, he did that, I should do that. That competition. Competition in a good way is okay. But if competition is out of envy, that should never be there. We should serve in that mood of cooperation, in the mood that I am just your servant. And that's why when we get initiated, what is our name? Das. Das means? Many times you say, my name is Aditya Narayan Das. You are from West Bengal? Even in Bengal, people have last name as Das, so they think you are from Bengal. But our name Das means servant. Servant of, we kept the name of Krishna, Krishna Das. We are servant of Krishna. Understanding who we are. Our position is that of servant. Like someone called me yesterday on the temple line. They said, can I talk to Devi Dasi? I said, Devi Dasi? What is the first name? No, her name is Devi Dasi. Can I talk to Devi Dasi? I said, Devi Dasi is... It's like someone asking, can I talk to Das? Which Das? So we get the name Das, or Mataji gets Devi Dasi. That means servant. Our mood is that of seva. Right? So Gundicha Marjana, so many practical lessons from that. Okay? So we have Maharaj Pratapruta, one story. Then we came to Jagannath. We came just one day before Rath Yatra. Right? And next we'll come to that. What was Maharaj Pratapruta? His eagerness to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu keeps increasing. So once he goes to South India, and then, king, so he goes to conquer South India, and he comes back. And as soon as he comes back, he goes to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He says, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, now I'm back. Please do something. I want to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he makes the point, he says, if I cannot see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Mahavadanyaya. He is the most merciful of all avatars of Krishna. He is so merciful. So has he come to give mercy to everyone except me? Except for me. He doesn't want to see me. And in that mood, he's crying to Sarvam Bhattacharya. He says, if I don't get darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will give up my kingdom. What is the use of me being a king if I cannot see the Lord? I will just give everything up. There is no use of anything, if I don't see him. Sarvam Bhattacharya, seeing this determination and eagerness, two qualities of Maharaj Prabhupada, he is very inspired. He says, what is your level of bhakti? So these 2 points are very important in spiritual life also. Determination and eagerness. Are we eager to see Krishna? Actually, the qualification why Maharaj Pratap later gets the mercy of Mahaprabhu is because of his eagerness. Like in one class, Prabhupada was giving class, right? And in between the class, someone stood up and challenged Prabhupada. Have you seen God? And everyone became quiet because they were going to see what is Prabhupada going to say. If he says yes, that means he's seen Krishna. If he says no, then how can we see? So everyone became quiet. And Prabhupada immediately, so class was going on, he stood up and said, have you seen God? And Prabhupada immediately turned the question. He said, have you seen God? And all of a sudden he was stunned. He didn't expect the question would come back to him. And then Prabhupada made the next question. Do you want to see God? And Prabhupada is making a very nice point. He said, if you are not eager to see God, will you ever see God? No. If you want to see God, then you will actually engage in activities that Krishna will be. At some stage in our spiritual life, he will come and give darshan to us. But that eagerness has to be there. I want to see God. How many of you think it is possible to see Krishna? It is possible or not? Yes, it is possible. Maybe we are very far, but we should always be eager. That someday, maybe years, we don't know, maybe lifetime, someday I can see Krishna face to face. In Bhagavatam, what does it say? When we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we are actually seeing Krishna face to face. We don't realize it, but yes, we can see Krishna, but we should always be eager. When we are reading descriptions of Krishna, how beautiful is Krishna, Krishna playing the flute, then we should be eager. When will that day be mine? When I will see Krishna. And Maharaj Pratap was so eager. And because of this eagerness, Sarvam Bhattacharya said, because you are so eager, certainly Mahaprabhu will show you mercy. And then he actually, the king says, Pratap says, you have so many devotees, please tell them that I want to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all the devotees knew, if we directly request Mahaprabhu, he is going to leave. So what they do is they go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they just go and they start glorifying the king. They said Ramananda Rai, he used to work for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before, for Maharaj Pratap before. So Ramananda Rai goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, when I went to the king and I told him that I want to just serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king was so happy, Maharaj Pratap was so happy. He said, for you want to do seva to Mahaprabhu, full pension, full salary, go, no need to work. We always hope that someday our boss will become like that. We say, I just want to serve Krishna. And the boss will say, you want to serve Krishna? Okay, go, full pension, full salary, no need to work. And then Ramananda Rai is glorifying. See the king. I was doing such big things for the king, but he just gave, just go serve. This is how much he loves you. And then, a different devotees, Nityananda Prabhu was glorifying. And finally Nityananda Prabhu said, okay, if you are not willing to, Haribol, if you are not willing to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at least give him, if you are not willing to see Maharaj Pratap, at least give him one of your outer cloths. And then Mahaprabhu said, okay, I won't see him, but I'll give one of my cloth. And then Maharaj Pratap, when he received that cloth, it was as if he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's another point. When we receive the Maha from Radha Golokananda, that we should treat as non-different from Radha Golokananda. Actually, even Mahaprasad we receive, it is non-different from Krishna. Non-different from Krishna. Right? So he received the cloth, and every day he was actually worshipping the cloth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, after that, again the devotees were still eager. Like men, so they was somehow or other put in the point a good word from Maharaj Prabhu. And actually, for our spiritual life, it's just like this. What is our position to meet Krishna? But our Guru is so kind. The Guru will say, "Oh Krishna, see this person, how he's serving you so nicely." And as soon as the Guru's word goes, and actually it goes through the parampara, the Guru will tell his Guru, like for us, our Guru will tell Prabhupada, and say, "Prabhupada, this my disciple is serving so nicely." And Prabhupada will tell Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. He'll say, "This person is serving so nicely." And then the word will go up the line of the parampara. And finally, the word goes to Srimati Radharani. And then Srimati Radharani will say, "Krishna, see that devotee is serving you so nicely. Please accept him." And as soon as Radharani says, Krishna will say, "Oh, you are saying? Sure, I can take him." That is our process. Our process is to somehow please the Guru. And the Guru is pleased, he will give a good word for us, and that word will go all the way to Radharani, and we'll get Krishna. That's how we progress in Bhakti. So here also we see how all the devotees, they put a nice word from Maharaj Prabhu. And second time this happens, then Nityananda Prabhu says, and then Mahaprabhu says, actually there's a conversation with Govinda and all that, but finally he said, "Okay, I will see his son. I won't see the king, I'll see the prince." And then the prince comes. And the prince is described. He had a little bit blackish complexion. He has like lotus-like eyes, and he was wearing like a yellow dhoti. And as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees the prince, it reminds him of Krishna. And he says, "Just by seeing you, I am remembering Krishna. Oh, you are such a great devotee." And he immediately embraces the prince. So prince, just before he was just like a regular boy. But when he received the mercy of Mahaprabhu, he started jumping, Hari Bol, chanting in ecstasy, full tears flowing from his eyes in bliss. And when the king heard how much mercy his son got, he embraced the king, and he got the same effect as the prince was getting. And that way, so another point which is really nice in Maharaj Prabhu's journey is the token of reciprocation he receives. Even in our spiritual life, we will receive tokens of reciprocation. Yes, Krishna seems so far. Will we ever reach him? But if we continue the practice, continue developing eagerness to see Krishna, then Krishna in between will send us a token. And the token comes in so many different ways. Some devotee will come and he'll say something very sweet, or you'll get some association of a very saintly person, or so many different ways token happens. You'll go to the holy dham and all of a sudden something will happen. It's like, for sure, this is Krishna's reciprocation. He will give so many tokens, inspiring us in our spirit. So similarly, Maharaj Prabhu, so many tokens he's getting, right? To see that, yes, someday I will get the Okay? So let's see. Okay. So now we'll come to the actual Rath Yatra day. Right? Everyone following? 3 stories, parallel with me? Any questions or any points? It's okay. Everyone is relishing the katha. This is like one of my sweetest sections of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So now, the actual day of Rath Yatra. So in the morning, what happens? The first ceremony that happens in the morning is known as Pandu Vijay. Pandu Vijay. This is basically when the deities, they leave the throne and they are coming to the chariot. Right? And when the deities come, the deities are, if you have seen Jagannath Puri, the deities are so big, right? So big. Who can carry those deities? Lord Jagannath as Krishna, with his little finger, he lifts a full Govardhan hill. How can you carry him? Right? But there are these servants known as Daityas. Right? So they have this seva. So few Daityas will hold the shoulder of Jagannath, right? From both sides. And then they take like a silk rope, they tie to the waist of Jagannath. And then from both sides, few devotees are holding the silk rope. And then from the inner temple to the Rath, they will actually put something known as tulis. Tuli is cotton-filled pillows. So it is all the way along the path, there is cotton-filled pillows till the Rath. So how do they take? They take Jagannath, they lift from one pillow, and then another pillow, and then again another pillow. So that way Jagannath slowly comes out. Right? So, but if you have seen videos, you can see videos of this online. So if you've seen videos of how Jagannath comes, he never comes like this. He comes and he's always like this, like rocking, So once His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, he asked the Daitya, so why, like he's already so heavy, to bring Jagannath to a chariot is such a big seva. Then why he is like always like this? Why do you bring him like this? And the Daitya said, we try to bring him straight, but he himself is so intoxicated that he comes like this. We try to keep him in one position, but he's always like. And this is actually the inner mood of Jagannath. See, the story of Jagannath is that when Krishna, 5,000 years before, he was in Vrindavan for 11 years, then he went to Mathura, then he went to Dwarka. Even in Dwarka, the queens such as Rukmini, Satyabhama, they were serving 16,108 palaces. But they saw, even though they were serving the king, Krishna so nicely, in the night time, Krishna used to call the name of the gopis of Vrindavan. Imagine, and in the material world it would be a disaster. The husband is calling the name of girlfriends and that's it, it's all over. But Krishna anyway is Krishna. But he was calling the name of the gopis, the cows in Vrindavan, right? And Rukmini and other queens are saying, we are serving Krishna so nicely. Why does he always call the names of the gopis of Vrindavan? And they were actually eager to hear what is so special of Vrindavan pastimes. So they said, who can we ask? And there was Rohini, Balram's mother. She was there in Vrindavan and now she is there in Dwarka. They approached Rohini Devi. They said, Rohini Devi, you were there in Vrindavan. Tell us about Vrindavan Leela. Why Krishna is so attracted to Vrindavan? Right? So Rohini Devi said, yes, I can tell you. But see, Krishna's heart is already in Vrindavan. He already wants to go back. If he hears this, then that's it. He will run away. So make sure that Krishna and Balaram are away, then I will tell you. So they organized. They said, okay, Krishna and Balaram had gone to the Sudharma assembly to do their Kshatriya duties. And then they said, Subhadra Devi, sister, you stand at the door. And be as a guard there, make sure Krishna and Balaram don't come. And then this was arranged. Subhadra Devi was at the door, and then Rohini Devi is telling all the queens the pastimes of Vrindavan. Now when Subhadra Devi, actually, is she there in Vrindavan? One day she is not there. Though she is the sister, there's a whole story to that. She is not in Vrindavan. So when she hears all these Vrindavan pastimes, she herself, her eyes become big. When someone is very happy, it's like eyes become, like you see, there's a famous video of Prabhupada in Vrindavan. Like after he came to US and all his Western disciples, he took them to Vrindavan. And when he's in Vrindavan, he's taking them to different places in Vrindavan. So there's a video of Prabhupada, walking with all his disciples and telling. And in that video, you can see Prabhupada's eyes just like round because he's so happy to be back in Vrindavan and showing Vrindavan to his disciples. So the point is, when someone is so excited, the eyes become so big and so Subhadra Devi, she's hearing all the Vrindavan pastimes, her eyes become so big. And in that mood of ecstasy, her hands actually shrink inside. In that mood of ecstasy. And this happens, Subhadra Devi is still at the door. And then Krishna Balaram, because they are spontaneously attracted to Vrindavan, they come to know, oh, Vrindavan Katha is happening somewhere. So they come. And as soon as they come, Subhadra Devi is already like this, so she cannot stop. And Krishna Balaram come on both sides of Subhadra, and even their eyes become big, hearing Vrindavan. Their hands shrink into their body, and they take the forms of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So they are Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra is Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra who are in the mood of separation from Vrindavan. So they are Krishna himself. Jagannath is Krishna, not different, but in the mood of longing to be in Sri Vrindavan.
So Prabhu, why Balram and Subhadra carry the same name, but why Krishna got name as Jagannath?
I mean, Jagannath is Krishna,
Right.
but because there's another reason why Krishna is called Jagannath. Jag means the entire universe, right? Nath means the Lord of the whole universe. So one reason is one story I said why he became big eyes. But another reason they say that Jagannath is so merciful, that he himself comes outside and with his big eyes he sees everyone in Jagannath Puri and gives mercy to everyone. Actually in Jagannath Puri I've heard that on the day of Ratha Yatra, whether it's a Muslim or a Christian or whoever is there, they'll come and take the mercy of Jagannath. Jagannath is the Lord of everyone. So because he is so merciful to everyone who comes, hence Krishna is called Jagannath. But he is Krishna. No difference between. But it's just a special mood of Krishna hankering to go back to Vrindavan, and he accepted that mood as Jagannath. Okay? So that is the story. So now, Neelachal, where Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, that is representing what? Dwarka. And Gundicha, where the Rath goes, that represents Vrindavan. So one way this Rath Yatra, so 15 days when Jagannath is inside, he is served by Lakshmi Ji. And it is described, Prabhupada described the purport. It is service of ideal husband and ideal wife. Ideal wife is serving her husband, taking care of Jagannath. So Lakshmi Ji is serving. But after 15 days, then Krishna says, can I take a break? I want to go outside. And Lakshmi Ji says, okay, come back tomorrow. Take a walk and come back tomorrow. And Jagannath says, okay. And now Jagannath is leaving that mood of that, mood with Lakshmi Ji to actually go back to Vrindavan. Here there's a point. See, Krishna, his devotion, the gopis' devotion to Krishna. And then here you have queens with Krishna, right? Dwarka and Vrindavan. Actually, it is said Krishna has a relationship with both. In the sense, one is in married life and one is with the gopis, which is unmarried. And in that rasa, the relationship with the gopis is actually more sweeter. Why? Because there's more excitement. I mean, a very material example is one. If you see a match, India-Pakistan match, and if you see India is already going to win, then how do you feel? Oh yeah, for sure. It's just one wicket down, they have just so many runs, oh okay, they will win. But if it is last over, whatever, like 12 runs to win and 2 wickets in hand, immediately what happens? So much excitement. Will they win? Will they lose? Will they win? So this is a very material thing, but in Vrindavan what happens? Because there's so much excitement. Will Radha and Krishna meet today or not? And that intensifies the love of Radha and Krishna. And that kind of love is actually the highest form of love. This is a very deep topic, but that kind of love. In the material world, this is all, what is considered immoral, things like that. So we cannot compare. Right? Here, any relationship outside of husband and wife, that is immoral. But Krishna is different. He is relationship with everyone in a different rasas. Right? So Krishna from Dwarka is going to Vrindavan. And because he's so excited to go, hence when he comes out, how is he? He's going like this. He's so excited to go. That's why Jagannath comes like this. Right? So that is actually Pahandi. That ceremony where Jagannath is brought out is called Pahandi. So what is Snan Yatra? Then 15-day period. What's it? Anavasara. Then Netrotsava. Then Pandu Vijay. Then Pahandi. Then the next ceremony is called Chera Pon. Right? Anyone here Oriya Bengal? Oriya Bengal? It is called Chera, but actually it's like a Bengali. In English they write it as Panhara. Huh?
खुदाई करता है छेना
और एक बार बताइए
Chera Panhara. I don't know the right pronunciation of that. But anyway, so that happens. That is next is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what is that ceremony? That ceremony is when the king, so king comes on a palanquin. Maharaj Pratap is coming. But then in front of Jagannath, he comes down the palanquin. He will go around the Rath. 3 times he will go around the Rath. Right? He will to purify, he will sprinkle auspicious water around. Then he will take the broom and then he'll start sweeping. Before even the Rath moves, the king, who is supposed to be the highest in this material world, sweeps the chariot in front of, sweeps the road in front of the chariot. To show that whoever one may be in this material world, in front of Jagannath, you are just a humble servant. And Maharaj Pratap comes and he sweeps. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he sees the king offering such humble seva, at that time he decides, now I will give my full mercy to the king. So very nice point. When we render humble service, very humble, like go pick up the trash in the temple. Very humble service. No one is saying, you just go do some humble service. When we do that, Krishna is very pleased with us. Mahaprabhu sees the king sweeping. King can have hundreds of servants to sweep the road. Why is he doing that? Just to express that mood of humble servant. And immediately Mahaprabhu says, now I will give mercy to Maharaj Pratap. Right. Then after the ceremony, then they pull the Rath. Right? Rath Yatra begins. So Rath is pulled and it is described. So the priests known as Gaudas who actually pull the Rath. Right? It is said that sometimes the Rath goes very fast. Sometimes the Rath goes very slow. Who is pulling it? Actually, it is just Jagannath's will. Sometimes he goes fast, sometimes he goes slow. Sometimes, even, when was it, last year or last year? I think 2 years back. In Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra, it came, it stopped, it didn't move whole night. You remember? It was there. So, they pulled the Rath to a particular place and then Rath did not move. Then whole night Jagannath was there. Next day he actually went to Gundicha. So Rath moves according to the will of Lord Jagannath. Jagannath wants to move, Rath will move. Jagannath does not want to move, it will be as it is. So there is, in that whole Rath Yatra is described that once Jagannath, and Mahaprabhu, during this time, he was doing Sankirtan. And it describes there are 7 parties Mahaprabhu designed. Okay, 1 Kirtan party here, 1 here, 1 here. And Mahaprabhu was there in all 7 parties simultaneously. All 7 parties, Mahaprabhu was there dancing in each Kirtan party in front of Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath was just seeing, and he was just in, actually Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but he is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Jagannath is Krishna, feeling separation from Radharani. And Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radharani feeling separation from Krishna. You see? This is actually a very, very deep subject. And that's why this Mahaprabhu and Jagannath, that is the highest of all rasas in the spiritual world. Because Krishna feeling separation from Radharani and Radharani feeling separation from Krishna. So Jagannath is seeing Mahaprabhu dancing and he is in so much ecstasy. And sometimes Mahaprabhu dancing, he'll go behind the chariot. And then Jagannath will stop. They pull, nothing. He will not move. And then when Mahaprabhu comes in front, then again he'll start moving. Then one place, the Rath came, stop. Did not move. And then the king actually, he said, like, they started pulling. They said, it's not moving. He called his elephants. Elephants came and started pulling. Still the Rath would not move. Then Mahaprabhu with his kirtan, he came with his kirtan party and he actually with his own head, he just touched the back of the chariot and started moving. Elephants could not move it, but Mahaprabhu just one touch, the rest started moving. Right? Then, okay, we're coming to the end almost. Then comes one place in between the main Nilachal and Sundarachal, which is known as Balagandhi. So in this place of Balagandhi, the offerings, food offerings are there, bhoga offerings. Actually, there's a place there, all the, like the Brahmanas stay there. So the Rath will stop there. And then all these offerings are made at Balagandi. So when these offerings were made, Lord Mahaprabhu was dancing all the way through. And now he actually entered that. Now the offering is done, Rath is stopped. So there was a garden there. Mahaprabhu went and entered that garden. And then Sarva Bhattacharya, previously he had told the king, he said, this is your opportune moment. When Mahaprabhu goes and take rest in that garden, change your clothes, take away your king clothes, wear simple clothes, go there, and there Mahaprabhu will be in ecstasy, he'll be taking rest. You massage the feet of Mahaprabhu, and you sing the Gopi Geet from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And king knew. Sarva Bhattacharya said, that's it. He had firm faith in the words of his guru. That is another qualification. Very important. What the guru says, you have firm faith in it. And then the king gave up his clothes as a king. He took simple clothes and then he came into the garden. Mahaprabhu was taking rest and then he went to start massaging the feet of Mahaprabhu. And then he started singing Gopi Geet. Jayati Dedikam Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Shashwatatrahi Daita Deshyatam Dikshitavakas Tvaidita Savas Tvam Vichinvate. And then there's one more verse in that it says, what's this? Do you have it? That's the one. What is the 9th shloka? Starting. Yeah. Tava kathamita tapta jivana kavi viritita kalmasapaham Shravana Mangala Srimad Atata Bhuvi Grinati Ye Bhurita Jana. Gopi is very sweet. So he started singing all this. And then when the king says this last line, what's the last line? 9th verse last line. What I just sang. Bhubi Grinanti Ye Bhuri Tajan. And that verse says that one who spreads this message of this Krishna consciousness all around the world, he is the most dear personality to. And when the king says that, Mahaprabhu, who's lying down, he immediately gets up. He's saying, what are you singing? And he embraces the king. So finally, Maharaj Pratapruddha, who was hankering to get darshan, now he gets the full mercy. Mahaprabhu is embracing Maharaj Pratapruddha. And he asks, who are you? You're giving me so much pleasure by singing Gopi Geet. And the king says, what? I am just a servant of your servant. Please accept me. So this is how Maharaj Pratapruddha's story. From the eagerness through, I didn't give all the details, just few details. Finally, how he gets the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So one of the stories we did, right? Jagannath story. So after this Balgandi offering, then he'll go to Gundicha. Gundicha, he stays for 9 days. What did he tell his wife? Next day I'll come back. And then how many days it is?
9.
So actually, after the 4th day, then Lakshmi ji is like, my husband said, after 1 day, 4 days have passed, he's not come back. Then the ceremony of Hera Panchami. Panchami is 5th day. So what is this Hera Panchami? Lakshmi ji gets angry. She says, where is my husband? And she leaves the main temple and she will take all her servants and with full opulence, she will actually go from the main temple to Gundicha. And then there is a very hasya, very humorous pastime. Then Lakshmi ji's servants, they'll go to Gundicha, they will catch the servants of Jagannath and they'll start beating him. And it happens sometimes we do drama in our temple. And they'll beat. They'll say, you are responsible. You took Jagannath, you said you will bring him back in 1 day. It is 4 days you have not brought him back. And they start beating. And then finally the servants of Jagannath will surrender. It's all in the mood of a very happy mood. They'll surrender and say oh servants of Lakshmi ji, please forgive us. we'll bring Jagannath back, we'll bring Jagannath. And Lakshmi says, okay, since you promised, I will go back. Please bring Jagannath back right away. Right? And then Lakshmi ji goes back. So that is Hera Panchami. And after that, still Jagannath stays for 4 more days. And then 9th day, finally, Jagannath Rath. That is called Bahuda Yatra. The Rath comes back from Gundicha back to the main temple. Right? So that is the whole Leela of Jagannath. Right? So Mahaprabhu was there during this whole thing. We related of Mahaprabhu's Leelas. We talked of Jagannath pastime, the whole sequence, and we talked of Maharaj Pratapruta getting this. Okay? So okay. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki. So for us,
the Prabhu importance is to get Rath from Sri Temple to Gundicha.
Gundicha.
That's the only
Yes.
importance. When he comes back, that's not celebrated much, right?
yeah, I mean the main is Krishna going to Vrindavan, right? That is our main mood. But also Krishna continues as a king of Dwarka, so he also comes back. But the main is going forward. So personally for us, this actually the whole Jagannath, this like what I told you about how Gundicha is Vrindavan, how Krishna, actually there's, when Krishna is in Dwarka, there's actually a solar eclipse once. And when there's solar eclipse, everyone goes to a holy river, holy place. So people from Dwarka, they came to Kurukshetra. People from Vrindavan, they came to Kurukshetra. And there, Radharani was there, Krishna was there. But Krishna was like a king. And Radharani was Gopi, like in a Gopi. But there, after so many years, finally Radharani sees Krishna again. And Krishna is like a king. And they are waiting for Krishna to come back. So Krishna is on the chariot and the gopis go and then they pull the chariot to take him back to Vrindavan. So that pulling of the chariot is actually, when we pull Jagannath Rath Yatra chariot, what are we doing? We are assisting the gopis, we are assisting Srimati Radharani to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this meaning of Rath Yatra only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed. Even those who are in Orissa, they don't know this. That actually pulling the Rath is a service to Srimati Radharani to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan.
He mentioned this in last year.
Yeah. This is our the meaning that Mahaprabhu has revealed to us. So Jagannath Rath Yatra is very, very special. This is Krishna in that mood of ecstasy. So, this should be like, especially for us as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as followers of Gaudiya, that this we really understand, at least we get a glimpse of what is the significance of Rath Yatra. Okay? Okay. Any questions?
So main temple is Dwarka and then Gundicha is
Vrindavan.
So that's why we're
Pulling from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Like how the gopis are pulling from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan, so similarly we are pulling Jagannath to Vrindavan.
When the Radha is to Gundicha temple, do the deities go inside?
Yeah, so we talked of Gundicha Marjana, right? So once they reach, then deities will go inside. So 9 days they stay inside. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every day they used to go inside and do kirtan, they used to enact Vrindavan pastimes in Gundicha.
Yesterday we were watching TV and Radha reached, I think it's past midnight, but deities were still in there.
Yeah. Sometimes the deities stay for some time, and at that moment they say that sometimes they allow, because the whole crowd will be there up to Gundicha. After slowly midnight and people leave, sometimes the deities are still on the run, and they say that time if you are there, you may get a chance to go on top of the chariot. It is very rare, but if you are there during that time, no crowd. Like once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was there. And the Rath was there at Gundicha, but the deities had not gone inside. And they invited Maharaj to go on top of the chariot, and Maharaj could go and embrace Jagannath. So we can get that opportunity. During that time, a special opportunity is there. Before the deities go inside the temple.
Yeah, we were thinking that that he did actually go and
Yeah, there's 9 days they'll be celebrating.
Darshan will be there for 9 days.
I think Gundicha, I think darshan will be limited darshan. I don't know. But practically, like one thing is Maharaj Pratap Gurudar. What are the qualities we saw that gave him success, perfection, eagerness, determination? Das, mood of humble seva. Right? What else?
Guru Agya.
Guru Agya, yeah. Having full faith in the words of Sanatana. Firm faith in the words of Guru.
recognizing tokens of
Huh?
reciprocation. Recognizing the tokens of
Yes, recognizing the tokens of reciprocation. Very nice. And also pleasing the devotees who are dear to Krishna. Because the devotees, they will recommend you to Krishna. And that's the way we can get success. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So tomorrow we have Ratha Yatra in the temple. So 4 o'clock, actually 4:30, Amarendra Prabhu will give Katha tomorrow on Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So 4:30 to 5:30 there will be Katha, and then 5:30 we'll have Ratha Yatra up to 7. And again we'll go to Gundicha. So we'll be making a place at Gundicha. So we'll go there and then come back. So from 2 p.m. onwards, 2 to 4 we'll be decorating the car. We'll prepare the space of Gundicha. So if you can come early, from 2 p.m. there will be seva, and kitchen anyway there will be big seva. But 2 p.m. onwards the Rath decoration seva will be there. Then 4 p.m. Arti, then Katha, and then 5:30 we'll pull the Rath, and then 7 o'clock we'll be Prasad. Okay? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
So a few days ago, I was seeing looking at the WhatsApp.
So one way when we clean the temple, we are actually cleaning our hearts. So it's- okay, everyone. Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes.
So, this Ratha Yatra, when did it started? Like before Mahaprabhu or?
Yeah, much. It's been going on for, actually they say since Satya Yuga is going on. Long time, thousands of years.
So Gundicha Marjanam started when Mahaprabhu came?
I think that's a good question, but I think it used to happen before, but maybe Mahaprabhu gave the deeper significance of
So
Gundicha
every time it happens in the same pattern from
Yeah.
the main temple
to Gundicha. Yes. Like so, see Mahaprabhu, like even Vrindavan. Was Vrindavan there before Mahaprabhu? Yes, it was there. But it is Mahaprabhu who revealed Vrindavan to the world. Like Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. People did not even know. They saw like 2 small ponds. They didn't even know it was Radha Kund, Shyam Kund.
You don't know really?
Only when Mahaprabhu came, he actually said, this is Radha Kund, this is Shyam Kund. So Mahaprabhu one way revealed, even Jagannath Ratha Yatra, Mahaprabhu revealed the meaning of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So even though before it was happening, but it was more like in a ritualistic way. But the real meaning of all these is actually revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
the
Srila Prabhupada.